Hello, everybody. Amanda Davis here, Avon Representative with New Avon LLC in the United States of America. And I just wanted to come on and give you a few tips on meeting your Kickstart goals for your new representative incentive if you are a new representative. So the new representatives are people within their first 7 campaigns with Avon. And if you sign on, this started. I want to say it started back in January. It was probably before that. But anyway, if you sign on now and you're going to be able to qualify for this incentive. And so this is going to be you earn 40% every time you meet a certain sales goal. So in your first campaign, your sales level can be any level, and you're going to earn 40%. Now, that being said, your second campaign, the goal is $150. And you also really want to have a buffer, particularly if there's outlet items or things that are while supplies last. So it would be nice to go so second campaign, your goal is $150. It'd be good if you could go for $200. That way, if you're ahead a goal, basically, you're able to have a little bit of a better chance at definitely achieving what you're trying to achieve with your Kickstart incentive. So my recommendation to you, because the more sales you have, the more money you're going to make, my recommendation to you is to go for at least $100 order in your first campaign. But really, if you want to go for that 150, that's going to be what you want to go for, because at 40% earnings and 150, you're going to earn $60. Now, that may not seem like much to you. So, hey, go for more than 150 then, If you want more than $60 in your pocket, then hey, go for more than 150 in orders. There's nothing wrong with going for more than the minimum goal. This is a minimum goal Kickstart incentive. Avon's trying to encourage you to place an order that's going to make you some money, basically. So they have the goal at 150 for your second campaign. Your first campaign, technically, it's any money amount will count. You'll get 40% on that order. But then in your second campaign, you want $150. And so, like I said, you really want to go for your first campaign to be at least $100, but you're really looking at trying to get that 150 from the first campaign, because $150 is going to give you a $60 profit. And that $60 profit, maybe it pays for your groceries. Maybe it pays for some gas. If you're somebody that you have a big family, you probably pay at least 100 in groceries a week, because shoot, I'm an individual and I can pay at least $100 in a week. But that $60, I mean, that's a good chunk of money to help with something like groceries. But it could also be, your investment back into your business, maybe too. That's up to you. But anyway, so that's my first advice. Now, how do you make that $150? Well, you get 10 people to spend $15. Think of it that way. Think of it as, let me talk to 10 people, get them to spend $15 with me. There's your $150. Now, you may do it before you finish talking to 10 people, because I know I have some customers that spend $30, $40, $50 every time they order from me. And so 3 of those customers put you at that 3 to 4 of those customers is going to put you at that $150. Well, I guess if it was $30, that would be like 5 people. But anyway, at $50, it's 3 people, puts you at the $150 order. So here's my recommendation. Avon is going to recommend with your stuff, with your new rep stuff, that you make a list of 50 people to reach out to. So my recommendation is, yes, make that list of 50 people. Think about where you go on a daily basis that you may be able to let people know you're selling Avon in a casual manner. Think about your friends that you could talk to. But my recommendation is, your first campaign, you want to talk to 10 people. Your second campaign, you want to talk to 10 different people and follow up with the people from your first campaign. Now, you're going to have a lot of customers that they may not order every campaign. In fact, the customer that orders every campaign is few and far between. Now, are there people out there that order every 2 weeks? Definitely, because I have a couple of them. But, but most people are going to order once a month, once every 3 months, once every 6 months. Now, with the holidays, you may very well have some people that want to get a little bit here and a little bit there, so they're more likely to order every campaign. But even okay, so in your first campaign, you talk to 10 people. Let's just be hopeful and say all 10 people take a brochure, they get your information. Or in fact, what would be great to do, since you only get a few brochures when you first start with your starter kit, is to sit down with a couple of them. Like one of my first customers was my grandma. So she was somebody that I sat down with her. She looked at the book. She asked me a couple of questions. I was able to answer them. And then she decided to go ahead and get some things that she had purchased before. So she knew she liked them. And in fact, every time she orders from me, we sit down, we're talking about other stuff, we're catching up with life, and she happens to ask me about the Avon book. She'll look through the brochure, she'll put in her $25 order is usually what she does, and then she'll give me the book back. So that's what I was getting to, is getting that book back when you can. You take it to work, you talk to a couple of your coworkers about it. If you don't have a job, maybe you go to the park and you talk to somebody about it. And then, if you can get an order from them, they can give you the book back. Now, don't always expect the person to give you the book back, because some people are going to be like, what do you mean you want the book back? Like, I want to take this home. I want to look through it. But you know what? If that's the case, then you want to get their follow-up information so that you can follow up with them before you place their order, just in case they don't contact you. Make sure they have your contact information. Make sure they have your website information, but also contact them before you place your order. And just do something simple like, hey, I'm going to be placing my order this weekend. Like, say you're placing your order. I place mine on Sunday nights. So say you're placing your order on Sunday night. You might call on Friday and say, hey, I'm going to be placing my order this weekend. I just wanted to see if there was anything I could get you. And, you're going to get some people that are like, no, not this time. I don't think so. But you also, if that's the case, you could just say, well, was there anything in the book that interests you that maybe you just, you want to wait on it? Or you might say, would you be interested in getting brochures frequently? You could get their address or figure out a way that you can meet up with them. Or if it's somebody obviously your best friend, you can give them a book every campaign, or make sure they see one every campaign. The other thing is utilizing that e-store. So there's another tip. To utilize your e-store from day one, set up that e-store, because when you set up that e-store, you're able to utilize your e-store. You're able to start with social media selling. The other thing is, start your blog early on if you're looking for online sales. And I say that because social media is awesome. And it's really great for letting people know, hey, guess what? I started my own Avon business and that kind of stuff. If you're going to be serious about social media selling, you want to make sure that you set up business profiles on Facebook. It needs to be your personal profile, but then you set up a business page using your personal profile, because that business page is going to be where you market your business. And then on other platforms, you want to have an account that's dedicated to like your Avon business. As far as like, I have a Twitter profile that is my personal, but I really don't use it for personal. So, I don't think Twitter, from what I can tell, Twitter does not have a specific business profile like Facebook has the business pages at this time anyway. But you could have a Twitter profile that's directly, related to your business. You could have Instagram, and you want to make that be a business account because it gives you insights and stuff like that. You could have, and Instagram will allow you to set up multiple accounts too. So if you, I think it actually now allows you to set up multiple accounts with the same email. But even if you really want to have a professional email for your account with Avon, except for do not include Avon in the email terms. That's against policy. But you could do something like beauty with Carrie or whatever. I'm Amanda, so I could say beauty with Amanda if I wanted, and nobody's gonna, that's okay because that's not against any policies. But anyway, but I couldn't say Amanda Avon or Avon Rep Amanda. You don't want to do that because that's against policies. particularly with the emails. With your Facebook and social medias, there's some sticky stuff going on, so you want to make sure that you check the updated policy at the time you sign on. So I'm just going to say that. With your blogs, if you're serious about online selling, the main way you're going to get traffic is if you start a blog and you start sharing your blog posts on social media. So like I will share mine on Facebook, on Twitter, on Google Plus. My blog is connected to my LinkedIn account. So anytime I make a post, it automatically goes out to my Twitter, my Google Plus, my LinkedIn, and my Tumblr. And then I will go through myself to share it to Facebook, just because sometimes I do posts like 3 or 4 back to back, and Facebook is something that you don't want to be spamming Facebook like that. So I decide to schedule out my posts for Facebook as far as that goes. And then Pinterest, you have to basically pin that yourself. I mean, there's some schedulers for it, but they don't always work. And so, I mean, if you want to try them, go ahead. But I personally just do it myself. I sit there and I pin my blog post after I do it to a business Pinterest account. So you want to be careful doing business on Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram from personal accounts, just because they frown upon it and they want you to be using the business accounts. Not to mention Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram on your on your business account will give you insights as far as like who's clicking and that kind of thing. So I don't want this video to be too long, but I do want to mention some of these things just because I know a lot of times people are they get on and they start with Avon and then they're like, what do I do now? So your first things that you should do is look at your Kickstart, look at your materials, start formulating what you might want to do and trying to reach those Kickstart goals, just because that's going to be $1,000 in your pocket guaranteed if you meet the goals. And anything beyond that is awesome. And there are representatives that are meeting and exceeding those goals. So definitely something to think about. And like I said, it'd be nice to go for that 150 from the start, for the fact that way, say your first campaign, you hit 150, you can hit it in the second campaign. And you really are going to want to be trying to go higher than that anyway in the second campaign, since that's the goal, the minimum goal. I guess what I'm trying to say is, make it a minimum goal to hit what the Kickstart incentive says. But if you can exceed that, awesome, And as far as online selling goes, the earlier you can start with the social media and with the blogging, the more it's going to fare over time, because the online does take time to build up. And yes, you want to be taking advantage of being able to show stuff to your friends and that kind of thing. And there is right and wrong way to do that. But so, you're going to get some friends that, because you started something new, they're going to support you, and that's awesome. So if those friends can get hooked on something like the skincare or the makeup, I'm sure they'll be coming back. But yeah, so that's going to be my biggest thing as far as, all right, so to recap what my tips are for this, so I can go ahead and wrap up this video. Go for beyond the minimum. And $50 is a good mark to think about. So if your minimum is 150, you want to really try to go for 200. So there's a little bit of a buffer there, because it would be really frustrating for you to have a $140 order in your second campaign and you're only $10 short of that $150 order. So just so you know. And then utilize your e-store from the beginning. You want to also make sure that if you're trying to do online and social media selling, that you utilize that from the beginning. And then the other thing too is to, try out stuff for yourself. Do remember that that's going to not be profit. It will be money saved, but it's not going to be profit. And then the other thing is to, break it down. $150 is 10 people spending $15. That's definitely doable. And then as far as like your e-store orders go, you want to encourage people to do the $40 order so they get free shipping. So again, you're going to get to that $150 a little bit faster if you get people spending, more than $15. So they say the average customer spends approximately 25. I would say I would agree with that in my experience. But you are going to every once in a while get those customers that only want to spend 5 or 10, depending on what it is that they want to get, which is okay though, because every little bit helps. And plus, you want to make sure that you have that good customer service and they know they can come to you for those kind of things. And then your online orders, people are really going to definitely spend at least 25 or more just because of the shipping cost being $5.95. People don't want to spend $5 and have to pay $5.95 shipping. I think only a couple of times have I had somebody on my e-store order less than $10 worth, and um, and so it's very rare that I have somebody do that and pay the full shipping cost. So anyway, so those are some of my tips. I hope you found this video helpful if you're a new representative, and do just keep in mind. So my biggest thing is with that $50 contact list, or if you end up making more than 50 contacts, or $50 with your 50-person contact list, or if you make more than, if you make a list that's longer than 50 people, I would not contact all 50 people in your first 10 days. I would contact, 10 in your first 10 days, and then 10 the next time, and 10 the next time. And if you do it that way, and it's 50 names, that's going to get you at least through the 5th campaign, right? And then, so hey, go for 70 names, and you'll have names for all 7 campaigns. But and the reason I say that is if you contact all 50 people in the first campaign, you might have a really decent size order, because let's say half of them ordered. Let's say 25 of them order, and they order at least $10. Well, that's a $250 order right there. But then the next campaign comes along and you've already contacted everybody and you don't have anybody to contact out of your warm market. And so then that's going to make things more difficult when you go back to ask them to order again. Most people are going to say, I just ordered from you. And they're going to start to get frustrated with you. So now, that being said, like I said, there's right and wrong way to do it. If you're doing the 10 people a campaign deal, you don't want to lose those customers by not following up with them anymore. But so say you contacted 10 people, we're lucky all 10 of them ordered. Then when I go to do my second campaign, I do want to give them brochures for the second campaign and let them know if they see anything new out of that one that they can contact me. And I would still follow up with them before placing your order and just say, can I get you anything this time? And then if they say no, I would leave it since they just ordered. But at the same time, it doesn't hurt to just give them that order reminder so that they know that you are still around. And then the other thing is to, if you can keep from the start, if you can keep people up to date with the books, and you're going to have people that they will tell you, please stop giving me books. I'll let you know if I want a book and I'll order from you if I want to. And if that happens, and don't waste your books on that person, and, contact them every few months and see if you can get them anything and that kind of thing. Now, I will say in my 6 years of selling, I have had very few people that were like, oh my God, stop giving me books. Stop calling me. So, it does happen, but it's not like it's every person. The other thing is with your friends, if they know you're selling and you're able to, casually talk to them about the stuff that you're having available, and you're able to do things the right way, then they kind of know you sell Avon, and they know if they need anything, they can get in touch with you. But also to, like I said, if you can casually talk to them about, hey, did you see the latest book has this really cute sweater? I don't know. Or the latest book has this really cute jewelry set that I think you might like. Or if they have kids and there might be something that you think their kid might like, or that kind of thing, then definitely, there's right ways to go about it versus just buy from me, buy from me, buy from me, which you don't want to be doing. But basically the idea when you first start is call up your old contacts, your best friend, whoever, and just say, hey, guess what? I decided to start my Avon business. Let them know your why. Why did you start? We're all starting for some kind of reason. Maybe you just got laid off from your full-time job. Maybe you are looking to work from home to be with your kids. Maybe you have been staying at home with your kids, but you're looking for something to do. So you've decided to try to bring in a little bit of income with your Avon business. Maybe you're just looking to make extra money as a side gig. Maybe you're looking to get a personal discount, but while you're at it, you're going to share it with others and see what happens with that. You know, whatever the case is, or you might have a bigger goal, like you're trying to pay off a car, or you're trying to buy a car, or you're trying to pay off a house, or you're trying to buy a house. And when you let people know those things, they're more likely to say, okay, yeah, I'll get, you know, something. Let me see, you know, what can I get? What you recommend? So you want to have, you know, in mind things that you could recommend, because that's the good thing about being a beauty consultant is you're a consultant. You're able to say, well, you have fine lines and wrinkles. Maybe you might want to look at the reverse list line. We also have the skincare advisor quizzes available to us on our Avon e-stores. That you're able to use to try to get people the right skincare regimens. And Avon is also going to be coming out with some really good training this fall too, that's going to be a little bit more in depth as far as things like that go. But the other thing too is, you know, from using it, and if you don't know, there's lots of support groups out there. You can ask me if I'm your mentor. I'll find you the answer, and I can also speak from my own experience. The other thing too is, if you have a different mentor and you're stumbling across this video, contact them. That's what mentors are there for. If you're in a support group, Facebook has lots and lots of representative support groups, and we can point you in the right direction if you're a new representative. Because there's lots of support groups out there that you can go to and ask your questions, like, I have a customer that has such and such, what do you recommend for that customer that we currently have? Or I have a customer that really loves such and such product that I'm no longer seeing. Was there a replacement? Those kinds of things. You can also usually Google, and you might find some information that way. But anyway, so thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, I hope you found it helpful. I hope it wasn't too long, but I know as a new representative, sometimes you really don't know where to start. So anything that's available can help you. And good luck with your Avon business. Thank you for joining. And if you're with me and I'm your mentor, Amanda Davis, I truly, definitely appreciate that. And I am here for you. And even if you're not on my team, you know, when you stumble across this video, if you comment, I will do what I can to get back to you and let you know, because I just think that that's helpful. If you're another Avon representative and you want to share this with your teams, I would share it specifically with your new representatives. That's fine with me. Just let them know that you're just let them know that they are on your team. You're only sharing the video for the information, because I don't want them getting confused and thinking that I'm their mentor. Obviously, I'll be sending this out to my own team members. But anyway, so thank you so much for watching, and I will watch everybody with my next, or watch everybody with my, I will see everybody with my next video. It's getting late. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks again.